So when it comes to video games, I am the type of person that really enjoys a really good single player, story driven experience. And to be honest, like the last several months, ever since I bought my PS5 back in November or October of last year, it's been just like kind of slow trickle when it comes to this really deep story driven gameplay. And so I've been keeping my eye out on this game called The Alters. It just popped up on my timeline randomly. And immediately I was drawn by the story. If you know me, you know I'm all about the nerdy quantum mechanics, multiverse, alternate reality vibes. That's my shit right there. And so the story of this game essentially is about a astronaut who lands on a planet. His entire crew is dead, and he has to basically use a substance called rubidium plus a quantum device to create alternate versions of himself that live different lives and made different decisions. And as a result, when these characters are created, they interact with you differently, and you have to basically get them on your good side in order to get them to help you build the ship and keep the ship moving, because the planet is constantly being bombarded by radiation, so you have to move the ship. It's a very, very, very cool premise. The good things about this game, once again, the stories. I love the story a lot. I think the story is super dope. The graphics are amazing. The concept is amazing. The gameplay is solid. I'll get into that a little bit later. But the general concept is it's essentially a base builder game, if we're being 100% honest about it. It's 100% a base builder game. You go get resources, you use the resources to build things. The more resources you get, the bigger stuff you can build. That's like the simple mechanic of this game. If you want to break it down to brass tacks, it's a base builder game. It just has a really robust graphics engine and really robust story around it to make it very, very interesting. And so those are the good things. And I think if you're into base builders and kind of games like No Man's Sky and games like that, this is right up your alley. I feel like it's not action driven at all, which I think when I watched the trailer, I thought there would be like more action. Not necessarily like monsters and shooting guns, but just like more action, if that makes any sense. There is like the occasional threat of radiation coming when you're outside, and there's also like a sleep mechanic to the game. So like if once you stay awake for a certain amount of time doing work, you have to go to sleep. If you don't, then your character doesn't run as efficiently. So that's a cool mechanic. And then the game stops after you create the first altar, and you don't get to control that altar. So you just get to use that altar to help you with one of the missions, but there's no like control of that altar. You don't get to control them separately, and you don't get to switch characters. And I don't know if that's going to be something that they add, or that's going to be a feature in the game where you actually get to switch to the different altars throughout the game, or if you just stay as the main one. I actually really hope that you get to choose different altars. I also hope there's like a death aspect of it too. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid about it, but I really hope that there's like this guy can die and it affects your thing. And also hope there's like unlimited altars. Like maybe you could have 40, 50 altars in one spaceship. That'd be kind of crazy. It's a very intriguing premise with the whole multiverse thing, because even when you go into the game and you choose your altar, at least in the demo, there's only one selection and based off of one timeline. But I imagine as you keep playing, you might even be able to branch off of that altar, right? And keep doing that forever. Or if it's just going to be based off of the initial timeline. The game has a potential to have like a lot of cool mechanics in terms of that aspect, depending on how deep they want to go. Now, this game has no release date yet, but it's going to be on all systems. It's going to be on PlayStation, Xbox, PC. I played it on PC. I played the demo on Steam. But honestly, I might cop this as a console game, because I'm trying to build up my PS5 collection. Right now, I'm rocking Returnal. I got Spider-Man on there. I got a couple games on there. But I need more in-depth gameplay, and I'm really hoping that this game fills that gap. Hopefully. We'll see. All in all, in terms of the good sides, that's the good part. But the bad things about this game that I noticed mostly comes down to the gameplay mechanics, and this could be something that they can change very easily, but there's no jump button. And I feel like every space game, if you're running around like on a moon surface, you got to be able to jump. Jumping is like one of the key essentials to space games. They can have gravity induced to it, but it gets frustrating because the map is pretty big from the little demo that I got. but you can't jump over stuff, and you have to like walk around certain things like mountains and stuff like that. There was a hook. I didn't build the hook, and maybe I'll go back and build it. Probably not, but there's a hook, I guess, a grappling hook that might be in replace of the jumping mechanic. But I definitely feel like they should add a jump button, and maybe there's like an altar that specializes in that. Like I said, this is just a demo. It's like literally like a 2-hour demo, so it's not like in depth enough to me to really be like, well, this game's terrible because it doesn't have a jump button. And I think that's the reason why they put out the demo, because they're probably looking for feedback from guys like me to be like, bro, add a jump button. Even if it's arbitrary, just the feeling of being able to jump in space is something that we need to have in the game. Also, it's one of those games that doesn't hold your hand too much. Like, there are some things that would tell you to go do this and that, but as soon as you get into the game, you gotta figure it out. The game just kind of throws you into it, and that could be jarring for some if, like, you know, you're a more casual gamer. For me, I only have time to play video games like maybe like an hour or 2 hours at a time in any really game session, and this game kind of fits that a little bit because it's one of those games where you can just like, I'm gonna go build this base real quick, or go build this little extractor drill, go around and collect some stuff, go home, maybe make an altar, and I'm done for the day. And I can repeat that. And that's the kind of game that I like sometimes when it comes to these type of games, is that I don't have to invest too much time, and the story is extremely intriguing. Now, I'm wondering if the story actually has like an ending to it. It seems that it does, because one thing I forgot to mention about the story is that the planet is under some type of impending doom, radiation wave, something to that effect. And you have, I think, 7 to 8 days to get off of the planet. So there is a time-based, like, kind of urgency to the game, and that plays into the sleep mechanic. And I think eventually it does play into the amount of altars that you can create over the course of time. But I also wonder how much that affects the replay value of the game. Like, I feel like if the story's good and there's like multiple endings and like definitely ways that you can approach it, the game could actually be really, really, really dope in terms of like replay value. Like, maybe you try different altars in different ways. Once again, I played just a demo, and the demo definitely seems to push you in a certain direction because it's a demo and that's what demos do. But I'm hoping when I actually get the game and play it, that there actually would be like multiple options in that first go, maybe 2 or 3 different types of technicians or scientists, something like that. And maybe you can go a whole route without creating certain characters, or maybe just creating one type of character over and over again, something like that. Different endings, alternate endings, I don't know. But I know all in all that this game definitely has my attention. I think the demo is really cool. It's an intriguing premise. It's good enough for me to probably throw some money at it and get it. We'll see, though. Like I said, there's no release date yet, but it does say 2024, so I imagine that the game will be coming out sometime this year, probably holiday season, especially if it gains enough buzz. The demo was pretty polished, though, man. It's pretty polished. But if you guys have played the Altars demo, let me know what you think. I did post all of my gameplay footage here on YouTube, so you guys can go check that out. It's a 3-parter, about an hour, 30 minutes each video. If you want to watch my entire gameplay of the Altars demo, you can check that out on my page. Also, I'm doing the Twitch thing now. I know that I'm not really a Twitch guy, but I thought about it. I was like, I got to expand my horizons and meet new people. So if you're a Twitch person, follow me on Twitch. I'll leave the link in my bio. You can check that out. And stay tuned, man. We got plenty more content coming. I hope you guys have a great 4th of July, great weekend. Take care. Peace.